She started young with an instinct to connect and a drive to create. Her events break barriers, her voice champions authenticity, and her joy is her quiet rebellion. This is not just the story of building community, it is a story of building courage. Welcome to Behind the Strength, Shaan.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to do this.
Likewise, to have you on board with us. Shaan, you became an entrepreneur and thrived in the event space at a very early age of 15 years. That has spanned over a decade. What inner fire or moment in your teens sparked the journey?
2 decades. I'm 37 now. Actually my mom, I'm going to give her all the credit, and I always do, because I saw her working through my school years, through life. Like, I used to literally go straight from school in my uniform to her backstage of her shows, watch her in action, or she would make it a point to come home from work just to see me when I came home from school. But I always saw her working. And I think that's something that encouraged me. I think that's something that pushed me. And I was like, I knew nothing else, Right. And I loved the kind of line that she was in, which was events, which was creating, which was creative, which was bringing people together, which was entertainment. And honestly, that's what pushed me, that it was seeing it live, it was seeing it in action, and seeing the joy it brought to people, seeing the joy it brought to her, to have her own career, to have her own business, her own identity. And that's really what encouraged me. I started at 15 as a handbag designer because I just loved bags. I loved, everywhere I went, I was like, I want this, I want this. And those days, my mom's friend had a store in Colaba called Oak Tree. So we used to go there and every bag was 3,000, 3,500. And those days it was just like, every week my mom was like, now you want another bag? Make it on your own. So I literally brought the tailor who came home to do her clothes, and I experimented. And I made a few bags, and I went back, and the lady who owned the store was nice enough to say, keep it with me. She was the first one to sell my bags. So of course that business never made any profit, but it was good. It was a good learning. I met so many lovely people through that business. There are people who still meet me years later, 20 years later, and still say they carry my bags. So I think I learned a lot. And that's where the kind of entrepreneurial bug bit me, I would say. And it's never left me.
But there's always something, there's also, it might just be the DNA.
Yes.
It's intrinsic.
Yes, absolutely.
When you launched Networking Now India as a Facebook group and nurtured it into a national community with quiet strength, what was the quiet strength that carried you through the initial phase?
Priya, I don't really, I'm a very positive person in general. I don't overthink. I overthink in my personal life. I don't overthink in my professional life. I don't overstress. So when I started, I literally started it from a Facebook group. I was just thinking that I'm bringing people together to kind of answer queries. I never thought it would become my line of work. I didn't think it would become an alternate business. And so what I would do is literally facilitate answering questions, tagging people, bringing people together. When we did our first event, we had about 30 people in the room, 25 or 30 people in the room. And I was like, hey, this is going well. People want to come, and that's how we kind of started. But I think what kept me going is seeing that this was a need. This is something that people needed in their business life. Right. And I think the one big pain point that I saw was a lot of people were unsure in building their business, and a lot of women. Right. So it was a lot of doubt. It was a lot of getting duped. It was a lot of paying extra when they could have actually paid less and got better work. Correct. It was a lot of fear of asking others, am I doing it right? It was a lot of people not willing to share contacts and not willing to share connects. Right. I don't understand why, firstly. If you're still doing it in this day and age, you're really doing something wrong. So that is where it came from. And I think that's when I realized it's the small and mid-sized business that needs the help.
Absolutely.
And I want to champion that small business who starts from home, making that glass, painting on that glass, making that bracelet. I will help that person get out of that shadow, get that person out within their budget, help them market within their budget. And I think that's what kept me going.
Yes, because it is very strange to see a person bringing someone else up, because normally we've got the crab mentality. Either we stay down or we want to pull the other person down. It's not that you're going to promote the other person. Yeah. But what you're doing is so commendable, because it literally takes a village to build a full, economy sometimes, and even change the social mindset coming, as you said about women especially. Most of them have imposter syndrome.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, I have it still.
I think we all suffer it.
We all suffer it. I think about it every day. So, yes, I agree that people have the crab mentality, but it's changing. And I'll tell you it's changing. I'm glad.
And when there are people like you who champion the cause, getting people together, that kind of just puts it all, it makes it a little more structured. This is the place I have to be, and this is the place I'm going to get my help out of. So,
yeah.
Great.
I do feel like people are changing, and I think people are not always looking at it from the point of what am I benefiting? It's how I can help. And that, honestly, for me, Priya, that's a number one rule in networking.
But
Stop that.
Yeah,
what am I getting?
But exactly. But Shaan, it has, the person will go in with the mentality that I might benefit out of it. Over a period of time, this settles in that, oh, wow, even I can help someone.
Yes, absolutely.
So that gives them that sense of, a little more satisfaction at the end of the day that I have got something and now I'm helping someone.
Yeah, so I think it's also community.
Exactly,
It's become a very big word. So it's no longer, networking as such.
Precisely.
I think community all around, whether it's a pickleball community, paddle community, networking community, learning community, bhajans community, mahjong community.
Oh, yes.
It's all over. So I think that you have to stop thinking from the point of view of people are always asking, people are sucking my energy, people want contacts. No. Those days are gone.
Yes, you're building off each other, and it's more organic rather than something which is conditional.
Yes, absolutely.
Visioning a business Bible for entrepreneurs, what personal experiences made you feel the system you designed needed to exist?
So I think for me, the number one gap is what I saw is, I think the two pain points and the gap that I really saw was one that people weren't sharing so easily.
Right.
So if someone had failed, today people are talking about their failures because it's kind of going viral on Reels, it's kind of making good YouTube content.
Probably.
And people are willing to share more.
Right.
Business owners are willing to share more, experts, thought leaders are willing to share more, which we're grateful for. I learned so much from those videos. I think that gap is something that I saw, that today I don't have to be somebody running 100 crore, 1,000 crore business. I could have failed and learned from it, and I can share it with you.
Absolutely.
I would love to sit in a room of 100 people and say, hey, listen, I did this. It didn't work, but I did this differently and it really worked for me. Right. So I think that's something people are willing to share and people weren't willing to share. So that's a gap that I saw, and I brought people together to say, hey, open up.
Yes.
What is it that you're struggling with? So I would literally in a room be like, hey, introduce yourself, say what you're looking for and what is it that has not worked for you and what you did differently. Correct. Let someone else also feel like, chalo, I can also speak about my failure. That's one. The second gap that I really felt was that people were building businesses alone. A solopreneur, a small business is pretty much alone. Right. You're working with freelancers. You don't have a team. You don't have somebody in your office. Some people don't even have one employee.
Correct.
Some people have a freelance and a remote team who may not want to listen to their woes all day.
Right.
So you need a work tribe. You need work friends. I have made so many work friends, work tribe who are my closest friends today thanks to networking now. And I can't tell you that one, it's helped me so much in my business journey. Right. Two, it's given me so much strength in days that were bad because they understand where I am with work.
Exactly.
They know exactly what I'm saying. And third is, I think, Priya, support.
Right.
Support. This is a very big one when you're building a business.
Right.
People will be there on day 1, but what about day 100, day 300, day 500 when you want questions answered? You can't maybe afford the highest business coach. You want to know, something as small as, let me just give this example, something as small as working with an agency, working with, somebody making your logo, somebody making social media. There are 5,000 people out there. How do you know who's the right one for you? How do you know who's the right one for your budget? How do you know that they deliver on time? How do you know their work is good? You need other business owners to give you this feedback. And I think that's the reason I built networking now. So these few pain points would come to me often. I would hear what people are saying. And then as I continue to build the community, it just kept coming back.
You spoke about support. When it comes to supporting, the individuals who come to you, and mostly women, as I have seen quite a few, they also need, coming from, of course, they have a very practical side. We all have a very practical side. But sometimes women also have that emotional support that they need. As we mentioned, the imposter syndrome. So when you have someone who's encouraging you, especially in your team, that kind of takes you 10 steps ahead, though you might not have done that otherwise.
Yes, absolutely agree. It's like, say, the forum concept, right? Many people are lucky enough to be part of a forum. I think it's the most brilliant concept that, YPO, EO, everyone has come up with. So we started something called the round table, which is a take on the forum. I was very inspired by the forum concept. And a round table is, of course, a more scaled down version. And I get one person or two people from every industry. What happens there is then I leave it to them. Make your own WhatsApp group. Keep this as your work tribe. I can't tell you, Priya, they've become the best of friends. On that group, they ask questions like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Hey, are you going to today's event? Hey, I heard about this event. Shall we go together? You're not alone. So try to attend as many of these as you can and make work friends, because that is something that's very different from your personal life.
Exactly.
You know, in your personal life, there'll also be a lot of biased feedback towards your business.
Absolutely.
So please, I think
have a neutral,
like a work tribe is very important.
Absolutely.
And I think it's very difficult to make adult friends. It's very difficult to have adult friendships, but I think those are possible in a workspace.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You've built niche communities like Spicy Sangria that have carved a unique space in events and the networking world to an extent.
Yeah.
What's a defining moment that, when others doubted your vision? And what fueled you to move forward anyway? I'm sure, because there are always doubters.
There are always doubters. I think, forget others. I doubt myself all the time.
Always.
Yeah, right? We doubt ourselves all the time. I don't even look outside of the thing. So I think for me, it's literally every day is me pushing myself to be better than my yesterday. This outside noise doesn't bother me. For me, it's more about what did Shaan do last year that she will do differently this year? What did Shaan do last month that she did differently? What did we do from our last event that we can improve to the next event? So I think it's that quiet, me pushing myself,
Right.
like, there's that video where you push yourself in the back, like you put your hand at the back and push yourself down. That's me, because I'm like, I just want to keep improving. I want to be better than my yesterday. And there's some, how they say, like, there's some bone in my body which has, I just want to keep doing. So I want to be better than my yesterday. And I think, like you said, there will always be naysayers in every business. You can start a podcast, you can start a clothing business, you can start a talk show, you can be a coach. There will always be naysayers. You got to listen to you. And honestly, take audience feedback, because maybe it isn't working. You repivot, you redesign, but that's on you. So I think for me, building communities is now in my blood. I think I can do it in my sleep. I think it's something that I've been doing for a while. Communities become the buzzword now.
Absolutely.
So whatever I'm doing now forward is building a community. So whether it's Spicy Sangria, I'm a co-founder at Soundrise. I'm, of course, networking now is my baby. So they are all community-led. And I'm very, very big on building a community, because in my opinion, that's the future, and even more so after COVID.
Absolutely. In fact, it reminds me of the pay it forward concept.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
It just makes a lot of sense on that end, because it has a lot of empathy involved in it, as well as a lot of I would call it functional. It's very functional with a lot of empathy.
Yeah.
Events, though, are unpredictable.
Yeah.
Can you share any high-stake challenges, logistical or emotional, that tested your resolve as, a leader?
I can't share one. I'm tested every day. Every event you may do.
Yes.
Events is a tough job.
Right.
And I always say, anyone who's gotten into events, kudos.
Yes.
Because it's not something, you firstly need to literally be someone who, very high stress levels. I can literally plan an event now in my sleep. That SOP, that like what I need, who I need, what is it? It's all in my head. You need that consistency to show up as your best self to every event. Because I know this about myself, whether it's networking now, whether it's the musical events I do, whether it's anything. Spicy Sangria, I'm having a bad day, right? That event for me will not be my best. Because a lot of the events, however big your team is, it's your vision, it's what you are putting in there.
That's true.
So stress is just something that comes with events. I think for me, I deal with it now. I've been doing it for so many years. There are processes in place. Building a good team and a strong team is very, very, very important and key. And also delegating. I learned very late in life to delegate. I'm a person who just believes like, this is going to take 2 hours longer. I'll do it myself. But that doesn't work.
I know. I do come from that thought. So I do understand what you're saying, that even I tend to do that quite a bit. But now I have started trying to delegate. It's still tough for me, but I still try, because I do understand where exactly you're coming from.
Yeah, it doesn't work, because I've also realized there's just one me, right?
Precisely.
How much can we do? And as I'm growing, also my events are scaling as well.
Oh, yes.
So I think that if you ask me about stressful days, every event is stressful. I'm not going to lie. There's no event that doesn't have stress. But do I love it? Yes. Do I thrive on it? Yes. Will I say, hope there's no stress? Yes. But I think I do better under stress.
Oh, yes.
Like I always say, like that that day before or that thing. I just love that last minute at 2 a.m. when the calls are coming and you're just like,
It's the adrenaline.
yeah, what's going on? Oh God,
The
we have to change this.
momentum.
Yeah, I love it because then I think for me, I just know that way the event is going to go very well because I'm on top of it. Madness is happening. That's just event life.
Amazing. That's amazing. Rise Live marked a bold expansion into new formats and audiences. Inner dialogue did you have, while diving into that venture?
Soundrise changed a lot for me. Soundrise changed a lot in me. It's something that I do with 3 very close friends. I'm very lucky that one of my oldest friends, Mohit, asked me to be part of Soundrise. He's a friend since we used to go to Marathi tuitions together. And when he asked me, I was like, you are mad. No one is going to come at 9 in the morning. No one is going to come to the parks. We cannot get access to the parks. And honestly, it's happened. It's something that 4 friends came together with different expertise to do for our Bombay,
Correct.
to do for our city. And touch wood, the city has been so welcoming. People have been so welcoming. Families, grandparents, children, newborns. People are bringing their 2-month-olds. It's been wonderful. So I think more than what Soundrise has done to Bombay or the format, I think what Soundrise has done for me has been something that I can't thank the universe for at all because, I can't thank it enough, sorry. It's changed me as a person. The way I saw Bombay come together.
Across generations.
Across generations. The kind of people I meet at Soundrise, they come alone. People come with 30 of their family members. People celebrate their birthdays there. People have met at Soundrise. Couples have met at Soundrise. People have proposed at Soundrise. People have celebrated 80th birthdays at Soundrise. People call us in advance and say, hey, listen, it's our child's birthday. Is there a Soundrise on this day? Because we will celebrate there. But, I've met such wonderful artists, the simplest humans, just doing their thing, making their music, not giving a damn about social media fame, not giving a damn about, reels going viral, but beautiful music, a beautiful band, no airs about themselves. I think I have learned so much from this property. Like I said, I'm deeply grateful that it came into my life. It came into my life at the right time. And I'm deeply grateful I get to build this with friends because what you learn from your friends, I've always built my business alone. And my only other co-founder has been my mother.
Right.
At Spicy Sangria. So I think I learned the most from her. Today I'm learning the most from my friends because they all bring a different expertise. One's an actor, one's into tech, one's a banker. So I think we all bring a different thing. And I think we all have one shared purpose and passion, which is make Bombay better. And the second thing is bring independent artists to the forefront because India has so much homegrown talent.
Oh, absolutely. And so much that's not even been tapped as yet.
Yes. And you know what the most beautiful thing is? To then see after we do Soundrise that people booking this talent for weddings, booking this talent for birthdays, saying, hey, Shaan, we heard these people at your Soundrise. I want to get them for my dad's 80th. And I'm not talking commercial music. I'm talking original music. So it's wonderful that we can make the little difference and India is changing slowly as well. And I hope that we can continue to bring this beautiful music from like the rural India, from anywhere to the forefront.
In fact, I remember seeing some photographs of the one that you held at Radio Club.
Yeah.
And it looked like a little mini festival.
Yeah, like a carnival.
It was a lovely carnival that happened there. And it was so beautiful to even, see that entire space all lit up. And it was so gorgeous.
Priya, I'm a Bollywood girl. I know Bollywood music. I don't really. Jazz and all I've loved. My parents also have listened all my life. But it's not been my first. Like, I won't just put on jazz and listen at night. So, I have learned so much about music. And when I hear parents tell me that, we bring our children and my child has showed interest in learning the drums, showed interest in learning the guitar because of Soundrise. And we see children up on the stage, with the artist. I'm like, this is the difference we're making.
Yes.
And, Mohit, my co-founder, his idea was this. I want to start using our parks again. Bombay has beautiful parks with amphitheaters and bring children to the, to the
Instead
music.
of the restriction that, you're not allowed to stand up. And I've seen that they're very free, they're moving, which is what kids want.
Don't do,
yes,
move back,
absolutely.
Nothing. This time we did a mehfil, for our first ever mehfil. And one of the artists, she's a huge, Smita Belur, she's a beautiful artist and so famous. And she said at the end, she's like, thank you for having me. And she's like, please never stop letting children come. Because she's like, for me, the best thing was that there were kids in the audience listening.
That's in fact, it's imperative now, I feel. It's really imperative.
Absolutely.
So from a Facebook group to large-scale events and entrepreneurial networks, you've constantly reinvented networking now, India. What keeps your vision evolving without losing, the authenticity of your voice?
I think for me, it's the people. I'm very big on how will my people benefit? How will the community benefit? I will never do an event that does not benefit them. I will never exploit the community to benefit myself. I will make sure that every event they come for is a learning or they take home something.
Yes.
Connections to be made are not only business, not only professionals. People become friends as well. People have moved from Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Raipur, Jaipur, and they're like, Shaan, thanks, we found our friends here. And I think that for me is number one. My people are my priority. The community is my priority.
Right.
Number two would be, I want to continuously build a positive, happy community. So whether that means doing experiential events where they can experience Bombay in a different way.
Right.
We recently did a safari trip to Tadoba. We had 35 women and we went to Tadoba. We do a lot of meals together. I feel meals are a happy time together. We eat and discover good food. We did an event in Burma. We were just ravenous. We have shown up and just eaten the whole menu. So I think the people and also the kind of experiences I bring. So it's not very rule focused in the sense I won't say you do this, you don't do this, you have to do this.
Right.
No, but they're quiet rules which everyone follows. Like I said, it's a happy community which can be work for professional and personal. So I think that's something I always keep in mind. Whenever my team suggests an event and they say, hey, we should do this, I'm like, yes, sure, but how does it benefit the community? I won't do a random event just because they are paying.
Exactly. There has to be a takeaway for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one for me. And if the request comes from the community, even if the profit's less, I'll do it.
But that creates a strong foundation.
Absolutely.
And that's what's the most, when you're building a community, if you don't have a foundation to support it, the foundation of the ethos is more important.
Absolutely. And Priya, I've been very lucky, touchwood, I can say my community has really supported me. People who've been there from day one, who signed up with me at 999 are today still with me and we're at 5,000. So 5,000 a year. So I think that if you are showing up for me, I have to show that same authenticity. I have to show that same, and we've grown together. I feel like so many of these. I get messages. When I do the big, larger events. Right. I had Faye. We interviewed Faye, Deepa Khosla, Shobhika Sharma, and so many of the ladies sent me a message. I was reading it to my parents later, and I was like, they've seen me when I had 30 people in the room. My first breakfast meeting had 12 people in the room. Today they're seeing 180 people in the room with Faye D'Souza I'm interviewing. So
lovely.
The kind of messages that they're sending, I'm like grateful to God, and I will continue to bring back.
That's great because that's how you're going to keep growing.
Yes,
and that's how the community is going to grow.
Absolutely.
This voice should spread. Looking back at 2020 and through the challenges of the pandemic, what critical lesson emerged that reshaped how you build and adapt community, especially during the pandemic?
Yeah. So I think the pandemic, I did a lot of online stuff, like we all did, right? We all moved kind of online. I used to do it every day, 3 p.m. online live, with somebody or the other. I would bring people. The nice thing was we connected with so many of our community members out of Bombay. Oh, I think that for me, that was a big one because I didn't realize how many people followed us from out of Bombay. Right. And it kind of encouraged me to go to different cities and do events. We've done events in Bangalore now. We've done Pune.
Yes.
So I think that's nice. I think for me, I realized that I don't need to always go into the big format. Small format works as well. And the small format is something, there are introverts that do not want to come for the big format, which will come for the smaller. That was a learning for me. And we've continued that in our kind of events that we do. Right. I think also the kind of way we sell our businesses changed. It became more personal. It became more, funny enough, it became more community centric. We became more popular. Communities became more popular. WhatsApp groups became more popular. Everyone was like, are you part of this WhatsApp group? Add me here, because that's where people were watching. Either you were on Instagram or on a WhatsApp group. Who was selling cool new food, or who was delivering home. Yes. So I think for my community, that really, really helped. They were all working throughout. Right. I think for me, it kind of helped me pivot into what I really wanted to do in the next few years. I think pre-pandemic, I was all over the place. We were just trying and testing and seeing what the community wanted. Post-pandemic, we got structure.
Yes, I think the pandemic did that for quite a few people. Yeah, kind of just gave them a tunnel vision as to what they need to actually focus on.
And as an entrepreneur of 3 businesses,
you do need that at a time.
I need it. I'm not going to say, COVID was tough for many.
Of course it was.
It was tough for many. So absolutely. I'm not going to say it was a happy time or good time. But it gave me time at home to be like, I got time to think what I wanted to do with my business.
In fact, on the flip side, I think COVID was quite harrowing for most of us, And that was the reason we came up with something, like
Absolutely.
this.
It was like an outlet. Yeah,
exactly. That was all that it was.
Absolutely.
But, you've got a very important point that you spoke about these niche little spaces, almost like a boutique space. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit. When you talk about introverts, having a networking setup, it can be very overwhelming for an introvert to come in. They might just take the first step, but if they're sitting quietly in one corner, how will it benefit them?
It won't. Number two, I promise you, I get 10 to 15 messages a day from people on our Instagram, and the team's always flagging these, saying, hi, how does this community work? I'm an introvert, I don't go for big events. How do I come? How will I benefit? Because I'm not confident enough to go out and talk. So my advice would be, one, always bring someone with you. So maybe somebody in the opposite business, not in the same business as you, or bring a colleague or your co-founder you're comfortable with. But it's nicer to always bring somebody in the opposite business, because they'll be your champion and push you forward.
Correct.
Right? That said, people in the same businesses are pushing each other forward now, and that's the brilliant and beautiful times we live in.
Precisely.
But I would say bring somebody else, because it's easier for me to say, hey, meet Priya.
Yes.
This is what she does. Chat, because I think she runs a beautiful podcast and you guys can definitely work together. In turn, Priya finishes chatting with somebody else and says, hey, by the way, Shaan's in the room. That's a friend of mine. Did you meet her? She runs a community. It's a different kind of topic, so it's easier to introduce. That's one. Two, if you're an introvert and going to stand in the corner, don't go, because you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time. I think more than one, don't waste your time. I truly believe don't be anywhere where you will waste your time.
Precisely.
Time is valuable. And the other thing I would say is start small. So when people, by the way, reach out to us on Instagram and message, I think that's the best thing they can do, because they're literally reaching out to the founder of the network.
Absolutely.
Saying, listen, I'm uncomfortable, make me comfortable.
Right.
And I do it.
That's what I was reaching out.
I literally say, hey, you know what, come early, come 15 minutes early, meet me. I'll tell you who to meet. And I go personally and introduce them to everybody. Now, this is where the personal touch comes in. But
Precisely.
I cannot do it at every event.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But so do you still have those little boutique or those little niche setups?
So like I said, our round table, it's only 12 people.
Precisely.
Yeah. We do some coffee meet. Like, so there was one of our members who lived in Chennai. She was visiting. I did a coffee meetup at the club for 10 people.
Wow.
So I saw so many of the introverts show up. So I think it's the kind of format, like I said, after COVID, I realized the kind of format I need to do to bring in the different person. Once that person comes for 2 or 3 events, they'll automatically become friends, they'll be comfortable and they'll come.
Yes, this is actually very lovely. I really like that you're doing that. Being a reserved person myself initially, I really appreciate that. I mean, the community needs it. Has there been a project or an event that almost didn't happen, but you pushed through and it became one of your proudest moments?
Many. I would say that a lot are on the brink. Events are like that, right? It can be literally full 4 days before you're like, is this even happening? Do we have the budgets? Do we have the sponsor? Is the speaker even coming? So many, but I would say the event that I did for Women's Day, we do an event every year for Women's Day, and I did an event for Women's Day with, like I said, I had Faye, I had Shobhika Sharma and Deepak Khosla. I was just adamant. I was like, I want to get these 3 strong women. I want Faye to be my headliner. I want Deepa to tell her story. She's built an Indian brand beautifully, and Shobhika is a close friend, and what she's done with her brand is fantastic.
Right.
But everyone's dates were not matching.
Correct.
Event budget wasn't happening. The sponsor had to go back and forth, and I promise you, without exaggerating, probably 80 phone calls. I had sleepless nights.
Stress levels to the highest.
But the day the event happened, I think I slept for 48 hours after that. And it was one of our best. I think that every event for me is special. But yes, you're right. Every event has that. It may happen, it may not. By the way, we pitch so much. We pitch 3 events a week. Sometimes none close, sometimes all close, sometimes one closes out of 30. So I think that the hope is always there.
Yes.
And I'm okay with it. I think I'm a very positive person. So I know that what's meant to come my way for the community will always
come.
And what's meant to happen because we've put our best foot forward will happen.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. You've now getting a little personal.
Yes.
You face criticism about your weight and societal standards. Yet you've been unapologetically yourself. I'm just happy. I'm positive, as you've said.
Yeah.
What strength does that joy give you? And how do you hold on to it amid the external noise?
Priya, when I agreed to do your podcast, and the questions, like we were just discussing the questions, and you said, Shaan, I want to ask you something about weight. This is such a personal topic for me, but I can say safely that today I'm the most comfortable in my weight. I have never been comfortable in my weight. I'm 37. I think I've always had this, I'm too fat, how do I lose weight? I'll never get the best opportunities if I don't lose weight. Nobody will love me if I don't lose weight. I will not, I will never come first because I'm fat. That project went to somebody else because she's thin.
Right.
I was that person. But it's because of society. It's because that's the way. Conditioning. And today, I'm comfortable because it's taken a lot of self-work. It's taken a lot of me telling myself, you're fab.
Absolutely.
You're fab. I bring a lot more to the table. Who cares about my weight?
Right.
And that's taken time. And let me tell you, the world judges. People silently judge. People openly judge. People tell you harshly and judge.
Oh, yeah.
People don't tell you, but they're judging and they're judging. So everyone's judging. I have the best of friends who are the most amazing and have never made me feel,
right.
Feel overweight. I'm going to share this here, but about 2 years ago, I think in 5 days, it'll be 2 years. I got this a very, very rare disease called GBS. It was Guillain-Barré syndrome. I don't know if I'm saying it right even. It's where your nerves back up. I lost full control in my body. I was in the ICU for about 10 days. And that took a huge toll on me because I'm used to being that person who does everything herself. I'm used to being that person who I'll never say do it for me. It'll always be me picking up, me planning, me this. So when I needed help to shower. I needed help to eat. I needed help to go to the bathroom. I needed help. So I lost a bit of weight then because I was in the ICU and I couldn't eat everything. And I lost about 8 or 10 kilos. And everyone was like, this has happened because you were overweight. This has happened because you had fat. This has happened because you didn't take care of your health. This has happened because you eat wrong. And I'm just there in the ICU thinking, even here,
they don't spare you
anywhere. The skinniest of people were getting GBS. I was hearing of people in out of Bombay also who were just, 50, 60 kilos, I'm just saying, small and getting GBS.
Right.
And I was like, people will never give up. That changed it for me. I was like, you know what? I will do this self-work and I will make sure.
That was your turning point.
That was my turning point. And I think that's, unfortunately, it came to me at 35.
I don't think it's age dependent.
It's not age dependent. I'm just saying, I wish I had realized earlier that it's not the weight.
Unfortunately, it's incident dependent. Something has to hit you that hard to realize that what's outside is outside.
Yeah.
It's not inside.
Yeah.
So let it just stay where it's at.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud that you actually managed to overcome and surpass that. And you're right, the noise is just noise.
And you know what? It's now when I'm literally in that phase of happy where I am is when I'm losing the weight. I'm actually seeing the scale change because I'm like, okay, now I'm very happy where I am. And then it's,
but that's what happens.
I'm not stressing about it.
Right. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
You've described happiness and growth as your vision board for 2025.
Yeah.
When did you realize the inner contentment, not just achievement, would become your compass?
I think that's always been my thing. For me is like I said, right? I have to be happy to perform. I have to be happy within to even be a good friend, a good daughter, a good business partner, a good founder. So I think that's number one for me. If I'm unhappy or if I'm not happy, I will not perform. If I'm having a bad day, I don't even go for the meeting because that's just me. I think for me, growth is on my vision board every year. I just want to be a better person every year. I want to be a better business owner every year. I want to be better at everything. So if that means playing paddle, if I'm playing mahjong, if I'm playing pickle, I'm not saying I want to be a champion, but every year I should get better at it.
Why not?
Yeah. So I don't have to be number one, but I have to improve as per Shaan. What Shaan was doing last year to what Shaan is doing this year. And, one of my best friends, after I got GBS, I was like, I don't feel like myself anymore because I've always been overweight, but I used to play a lot of sport. I used to always say, she encouraged me to get back to the gym and I have started feeling better with that. Wow. So I think I'm on the trajectory for growth. Absolutely. Happiness is though always there. Happiness comes from the smallest things, the biggest things every day.
Couldn't agree more.
Doing this podcast, sitting here, it's a happy day. But I think we all have to push and we all have to really work for ourselves. We forget that these things don't come from outside. Right. These things don't come from someone else. These things don't come from winning first prize at an award or winning or just because your business has done well today or, money got credit in the account. It's self-work. And I truly believe only we can do it.
Absolutely.
That's why anyone who complains now, I'm like that friend who just says, listen, nobody can help you. You make the change.
Exactly.
Only you can pivot. Only you can do it. We are responsible for ourselves.
That's very true. And the best thing I feel that if you are occupied
Yeah.
with something positive, it can be a hobby, it can be work, it can be a sport, it can be any. If you're occupied in that, whatever little minute is giving you that happiness, take it.
Yes, absolutely.
Take and then thrive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. In moments when the weight of leadership feels heavy, what personal ritual, thought, or spark do you access to reclaim clarity and the drive?
I think for me, taking time out is very important. Like taking time out alone, taking time out with friends. But if I can't take a holiday, my number one go-to is coffee with a friend. I'm very big on my friends, time with my friends, time with people that I love. So I will coffee with a friend is like, I will just be like, please, let's meet. I need the break. That's one. I've started playing a lot of pickleball. I do paddle coaching and mahjong. So that is something that really, really keeps me happy. People are like, how do you play mahjong in the day? Like, I keep my phone away. My phone is switched off for 3 hours. And for me, in a business that I'm in, that's a very big one. So I don't mind. I'll take it. Like, it's that time out when I'm just, I just need to be blank and not think of anything. So yeah, otherwise, when you're just on your phone, even if you're just scrolling reels, that stress is still there.
Yes.
You're still at the back of your mind with that stress. So I think it's very cliched, but it would be a holiday. It would be definitely coffee with my friends and venting to my parents. So all day.
It's essential. You do need a sounding board at the end of the day. If you could speak to the person just starting Network Now India, what would you tell her about the power of resilience and how it's more aligned with joy rather than struggle?
Lovely. I would, Shaan, when she just started, I would just be like, you're on the right path, keep going. And this attitude of yours that everything works out, just keep it going. Keep it with you every day, because I think when I started, I didn't even think that it wouldn't work out. When I started, I would just do. I never, and one thing about me, and people might say that I'm just saying it, but so could be a negative, but I don't think money first, and I think that has been very, very big on my growth strategy.
Money is just a part of it.
Yes.
Money is
Money will always
important part of it,
money
but
will
a part
come.
of it.
But I think that's where my community has grown.
Right.
That's where my community has grown. So I think I would just say keep going, because this attitude of everything works out, keep it. Keep it. Never give up.
That's a good mantra.
Yeah.
Build a longer table, not a taller one. How did that phrase land with you? And when did you sense its impact?
From day one. I've seen my parents do it always. I've seen my mother never. She has so many friends. My dad has so many friends. I've known no different, and I think I truly believe that's where me building this community and me building this network has come from. I've always seen them whenever we have dinners at home. It's like so many people, or like, my mom's always bringing 2 friends who don't know each other together, or like if her friend is visiting, it's always come meet 10 of my friends from Bombay. So I think that's where I get it from. I don't believe in a smaller table. I don't believe in being cagey. I don't believe in keeping people separate. I don't believe in keeping connections separate. I've known no differently. So build a longer table is just like if anyone asks me in an interview or podcast, like, what's your one quote, your favorite quote, I always say it's rise by lifting others.
That's lovely.
So I do believe that when I do dinners and I do meals and I do things, I will always make sure that the table's full and it's a larger table and not just 4 people.
Absolutely. Networking started at home.
Absolutely.
But that's lovely. Through the Shaan Show, you've shaped new narratives around entrepreneurship. Which conversation on your show pushed you to see your own journey in a new light?
That's a great question. I took a little bit from everybody that kind of, firstly, can I just say how hard it is to do a show and a podcast, and I gave up very fast. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
To keep going and like make this happen. I think for me, I'm not too sure, but I think I took a little bit from everyone. I think the one thing that I loved about everyone that I interviewed on my show is the fact that everybody was learning as they go.
Right.
So every single person on the show was like, we love listening to other people's stories. And I truly believe that if you listen to anyone, be it a senior, a junior, a middle person, someone starting out, you will learn something.
True.
There's something to learn from everyone. A 20-year-old, a 70-year-old. So I think that's what I took from everyone. Everyone was like, listen, I read books, I watch podcasts, I go and listen to people talking. And that's what it was.
Right.
For me, that was like the end. Because I after listening to all, I think my favorite episode was definitely the Bombay Canteen owners, Yash
wow.
and Sam, because I love what they've built.
Right.
And they were just at the start of their like Bombay sweet shop journey, and look at it
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
What does your ideal legacy look like as a mentor, connector, and curator of communities beyond titles and businesses?
I would hope that I could build something where small businesses benefit greatly. So I would hope, I call myself a small business coach because I do mentor them one-on-one on marketing and like how to reach, the best places and within the best budgets. But I would hope that I could build some sort of, and I'm probably saying this out loud for the first time, but some sort of course or physical space where small businesses can learn and market themselves better.
You're launching here.
Yes.
The soft launch into this.
Yes, absolutely.
Keep it up. I hope that actually fructifies into something
Thank
really,
you.
really amazing.
Thank you.
And now my final question. What is behind Shaan Khanna's strength?
I would say I'm a very positive person. I get this from my mom. I really get it. I'm saying that I started the podcast with this, I'm ending it with this. She's a very positive person. She has a lot of strength, and it's a lot of quiet strength. I have learned this from her. So I think that I also keep it going that like, I don't know, it's an inner thing where I don't even think something negative can
Flows.
happen.
It just flows in.
I do believe that you do good, you get good. So I just really believe that
It's
kya
a
ho jayega,
circle.
maximum it won't work out, but so what, nothing bad will happen. But I also believe that it will happen.
Absolutely.
So always, I do go by one thing, Priya, is that whatever comes your way is meant to
Right.
be for you. So if it was not meant to work out, God saved you.
So be it.
If it worked out, it's yours.
Absolutely.
So whatever in life that happens, I just, I'm very positive. So like, even in my GBS journey, like I said 2 years ago, I was chilling. I was smiling through it all. Days were bad, but I must have like had 2 breakdowns in like 4 months.
I did see your journey then. I think I have been following you, and I did see your journey. At that point, I did see your Instagram post. And yes, that was quite a trial, a trying period for you.
Yes.
So to have conquered that.
Yeah, I think I just smiled through it all. 4 years before that, I had my fibroids removed where I nearly went into a coma because the surgery went wrong. So I think you can't life has to happen.
Right.
Life will happen, whether personal or professional.
True.
You got to be positive, keep your head up and
Right.
keep going, because I'm not one of those like complain.
Correct.
And I'm very bad because any of my friends that complain or people around me or in the network, is like, you have to save yourself. No one is coming to pull you out of the water.
Precisely.
So please just wake up, smell the coffee and pull yourself out of it.
Yes.
That's my mantra in life. And I think that I get it a lot from my parents, from home, the stability at home. I think
Right.
that's what just keeps me going.
That's lovely. And in fact, that kind of resonates with behind the strength as well. It's always about conquering
Yes.
all your demons, whether they're internal or external.
Yes.
So happy to have had you here with us.
Thank you.
It has been inspirational. I hope your voice reaches many, many more people.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
I
Shaan.
enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.